cheaper than the original Pierce. No shit.
Everybody ready?
Once you sign the contract, no money is due until it's delivered. Money's
I call the meeting of Borough of Shippon to order, May 29th, the year 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, please help us as we deliberate and render our decisions this evening. Guide us so that we may make the Borough of Shipbottom the best it can be for our residents and visitors. Amen.
Can everybody hear me? Statement of notice.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting has been provided on posting in the bulletin board, on the bulletin board of the municipal building, on the borough website, mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, Asbury Park Press, and Press of Atlantic City.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Hartman.
Here.
Councilman Talon.
Here.
Councilman Vallio.
Here.
Councilman English.
Here.
Councilman Buckus.
Here.
Councilwoman Basile. Here.
At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order of May 29th, 1925. As we commemorate the 100 years since the founding of Shipbottom, it is with great pride and that we reflect on the earliest beginnings of 1925. I'd like to begin with a roll call of the original members of the council. Roll call.
Mayor D. Amos H. Sibley. George C. Andrews.
Here.
Raymond Cox.
Here.
Daniel Johnson. Here. John R. Farrow.
Here.
Harry F. Call.
Here.
On March 3rd, 1925, the New Jersey legislature officially created the Borough of Shipbottom Beach, Arlington, separating it from Long Beach Township following a successful referendum on May 23rd, 1925. Shortly afterwards, the newly elected mayor and council convened for their first official meeting on May 25th, 1925 at the Shipbottom Firehouse. Mayor Dr. Amos H. Sibley led the inaugural council alongside Clerk Ethel Kramer. The council quickly established the foundation of borough operations, including appointing Judge David A. Veeder as borough attorney at the sum of $25 annually as a retainer. That will get you about 12 minutes in today's one. They also leased a room in Chris Anderson's garage as the first borough hall for $125 a year, which included a light. Assigning committees on finance, highways, licenses, police, lights and property, ordinances and docks. Each committee consisted of 3 members, forming a local board of health comprised of 7 appointed members. The council also passed early ordinances focused on public safety. The first ordinance approved was an ordinance restricting fires on the beach within 200 feet of any building or bulkhead. It also stated no glass bottles on the beach, but if you had a broken bottle, you had to bury the broken pieces of glass at least 12 inches in the sand. Also, no person shall be permitted to undress on the beach or expose themselves in any objectionable manner. That included males. They had to wear shirts on the beach at this particular time. Later on, we read through our minutes that they tried to get that changed and finally did. Any person who violated that ordinance was fined a penalty of $10 by the Justice of Peace or the mayor. Monthly meetings were scheduled for the closest Saturday to the 15th, and governance procedures were clearly laid out, including financial reporting, budget preparation, and committee roles. Significant milestones included July 1925, official creation of the local Board of Health. August 1925, a resolution of respect was passed in memory of Councilman Raymond Cox, who was only in a few months and passed away. And he was a member of the Cox family, which almost probably built this town, at least every road in it. And September 1925, final confirmation of the borough's incorporation and a detailed census showing a population of 2,105 residents. We never reached that again. It's probably around 1,100 now, I believe. The Ship Bottom Beach Arlington Civic Association generously donated a public pavilion and a dock to the borough, which is down 25th Street. So that's also 100 years old. On September 19, 1925, the council moved to appoint a building inspector, rounding out the establishment of essential municipal services. There was 316 houses at that point in time. And now we have about 2,000 taxable properties. They also partnered with the township and Surf City to get petition Atlantic City Electric to bring electric to the beach. They also petitioned the state to light the Causeway automobile bridge across the bay. They at that time the water department was private, and they worked on buying that water department and becoming the borough water. They worked on the railroad crossing. The railroad was still going strong in 1925. One of the things that a lot of us thought for years was that Laurel Boulevard was a siding for trains to pass, and that's what we were always told. But I remember before they put macadam there was a cement road that went in where the doctor's office was and came out down there by Sensations. And I always wondered why there'd be concrete if that was railroad. Well, we found that it was not the railroad. The railroad had their stations and everything right where the boulevard is now, the straight part. And the car road came afterwards, so the car road had to go around all the railroad things. So they, the town petitioned the railroad to buy some land so they could straighten that road because of the dangerous curves by the motorcycle shop there, you know. So I don't know how dangerous it was at 25 miles an hour, but anyway, they finally straightened that road to parallel the railroad. These early acts of civil dedication laid the groundwork for a century of growth, governance, and community pride in Ship Bottom. As we celebrate our centennial, we honor their legacy and look forward to building upon it for generations to come. Thank you. All right, we have local arts for caucus.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Again, I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but this is the second grant that we got, 2005 Local Arts Program Grant recipient, and we received the highest award that you can get, and that's mainly due to Kelly Nasty's diligent work in trying to get us as many grants as she possibly can. And all of these grants that she's been applying for do go towards the 100th anniversary centennial celebrations, and it offsets the cost to the taxpayers.
Any questions? Comments? Okay, moving to item 7, approval of the minutes.
Motion approved.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Balio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Okay, item 8, new business, and with great pleasure, I present you the Chief of Police of Ship Island. Sir?
Before we get to Ship Bottom and Mayor touched on the history, actually next month will be our 100th anniversary too, June 25th. Our first officer, Arthur Worthington, he only lasted about a month and a half, and it seemed like he had an issue drinking on duty. So needless to say, he was not Officer of the Year. Very important day. I think it's only fair that the supervisor hands out the award to the officers. All the officers that are about to get awards were nominated by their supervisors. So I'd like them to discuss it. So first up to the Officer of the Year, that's Sergeant Williams. Backstory of Sergeant Williams. Sergeant Williams got started his career in 2003. Accreditation manager, internal affairs supervisor. There's a laundry list. If you see a vehicle in town, Sergeant Williams ordered. So first award, Officer of the Year, Patrolman Alessio Ray.
Patrolman Ray came to my shift probably about a year and a half ago. He's done an outstanding job. He's led the department in numbers probably all across the board for the last 2 years. And he's received several letters from the community thanking him for his professionalism and his kindness. And I can see that every day when we go to work because I get to back him up on all these calls. And he's always kind, polite, and he goes out of his way to help anybody. So congratulations.
That's Patrolman Ray's second Officer of the Award, by the way. So up next, we have 2 awards, they're actually one of the same officer. That is the Meritorious Award and the DUI Award. A Meritorious Award is described as, deserving praise. Patrolman Sturzy started something here, I'll let the Sergeant talk about it, but he did that completely on his own as a young officer, and it's really helped change interactions between the police department and members of the community that need a little more assistance. His Sergeant, Sergeant Jones, who's going to help me present, he started his career here in 2008, SWAT supervisor, DT instructor, all active shooting stuff. If you've ever seen an officer in uniform, Sergeant Jones put that uniform together. So, Patrolman Sturzy, you can come up. All right. For our meritorious.
So, Officer Sturzy, probably about a year ago, started our residential check-in list. So what we have is we have elderly people that maybe have lost a significant other or are nearing the end of their life or have some medical conditions that we do try to get out there and check on at least once or twice a week just to see how they're doing, if they need anything, any extra help. So he started that all on his own. It's phenomenal, and the town residents absolutely love it. They just like that, have that extra sense of security that we're out there checking on them, just making sure that they're okay. And then the second award Officer Sturzy is receiving tonight is he is leading our department, DWIs, for last year. So he did a phenomenal job and took a bunch of drunk drivers off the road. So.
Sergeant Jones gets the stake because the next award also goes to one of his officers. It's going to be Patrolman Sean Frank. We have something called the Life Saving Award, and when I started this tradition, I wanted to name the award after somebody who did something above and beyond, and that's Sergeant Scott Barr here, who retired. The reason it's named after him is Sergeant Barr was driving home and saw a person stopped on the parkway in the left lane of travel. He knew that that person was at risk. He took it upon himself to stop. Unfortunately, he was struck by a vehicle and lost his leg. He went above and beyond for someone he never met to make sure they were okay. And the award couldn't be named after a better supervisor, so Scott Barr.
Yeah.
So Officer Frank, one night we were on patrol and there was a male subject who had a severe laceration to his arm. Was self-inflicted. It was very, very bad. So Officer Frank, quick thinking, put a tourniquet on the guy's arm, pretty much saved his life. So congratulations.
Superheroes don't wear capes, they wear gray and blue uniforms, especially in this town. They're awesome, these guys are amazing. You're so lucky to have these guys, truly.
Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. You can be excused if you like.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to item 1, 2025-88, payment of the bills.
Resolution 2025-88, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom authorizing the payment of municipal bills.
It's a pleasure.
Motion to approve?
Second motion?
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Balio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 2, 2025-89, authorizing to read the budget by title.
Resolution 2025-89, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the reading of the 2025 budget by title only.
What's your pleasure?
Mayor, if I might, would it be okay to do that now? Before the, all right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Talon? I'm sorry, Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Balio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
I have to read this now.
Yeah, okay. Christie, I thought I'd like to read a little bit of an explanation of the budget before we open to the public.
Do you want me to read the budget numbers first? Kat?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Municipal budget of the Borough of Ship Bottom, County of Ocean for the fiscal year 2025. Be it resolved that the following statements of revenues and appropriations shall constitute the municipal budget for the year 2025. We have general appropriations within caps, $8,507,952.73. We have total general appropriations excluded from caps, $1,871,826.55. Reserve for uncollected taxes, $50,495.21. We have total general appropriations, $10,430,274.49. Amount to be raised by taxes, $6,112,810. $810.25. I'm sorry. I wrote these out so that I wouldn't mess them up, and I still messed them up. Okay. Notice is hereby given that the budget and tax resolution was approved by the council members of the Borough of Ship Bottom, County of Ocean on April 22nd, 2025. A hearing on the budget and tax resolution is held this evening, May 29th, 2025, at which time and place objections said to the budget and tax resolution for the year 2025 may be presented by taxpayers or interested persons. Okay.
All right. Hopefully, if you're interested in the budget, you haven't picked up a package of stuff that the office and Kathy put together. Feel free to grab that stuff. There's some good information in there in a very user-friendly way of getting that information. And along with that, the 2025 current budget includes money for the retirement of general debt in the amount of $1,201,030, an increase of $65,025 over the prior year's amount, over last year. The budget also includes funding for the purchase of police radios, the establishment of reserves for bulkhead repairs and replacement, and the purchase of emergency response vehicles funded without borrowing. $64,000 in grant funds for recreational improvements. Salaries and wages are up $84,599. That's contractually required increases and minimum wage requirements from last year. Other significant items include increases in general liability insurance, workers' compensation, employee group insurance, garbage and trash removal, utilities, electric and gas in particular, and the employer contribution to the police and firemen's pension fund. The rateable base increased by approximately $19,343,300, which is the equivalent of about 28 town-wide average homes. The local purpose tax will increase by 2 cents per 100 of assessed valuation, based on the town-wide average residential property value at $683,481. The municipal portion of that tax bill will increase by approximately $136. On the utility side, the 2025 utility budget includes money for the retirement of utility debt in the amount of $1,540,066. That's an increase of $149,443 over the prior year amount, and $450,000 for refurbishing the water tower Phase 1, which is being funded without borrowing, both of which are being accomplished without increasing the water and sewer rates. The borough was eligible for self-review this year, and the CFO shall provide certification that the budget meets all the requirements necessary for adoption at tonight's meeting. Thanks.
Item 3, we're going to open up to the public hearing for the 2025 budget.
Motion to open the public.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public portion is now open. If anybody has a question or comment, we don't have a mic, so you have to yell. Oh, we do have a mic. Okay. If not,
Motion to close.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. Item 5, 2025-91. Excuse me. Item 4. 2025-90, authorizing self-examination of the budget.
Resolution 2025-90, resolution of the Borough of Shep Adam authorizing the self-examination of the budget.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 5, 2025-91, adoption of the budget.
Resolution 2025-91, resolution of the Borough of Shep Adam adopting the municipal budget for 2025.
Mayor, can I say a couple things, please? Sure. Sometimes you get lucky, and this year we got lucky. Although we have a 2 cent increase, our Southern Regional tax went down 2 cents, according to the sandpaper. So we caught a break this year on that. Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
All right. Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Okay, item 6, 2025-92, authorizing membership in the Ship Bottom Volunteer Fire Company.
Resolution 2024-92, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom ratifying membership in the Ship Bottom Volunteer Fire Company Number 1 for Brandon Asher Steele and Kenneth Joseph Link Jr.
What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 7, 2025-93, authorizing the 2025 hazard mitigation plan.
Resolution 2025-93, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom adopting the 2025 Ocean County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Anybody have a word on that?
Yeah, Mayor, that's the county plan, and we need to approve it along with the other jurisdictions in the county, so we can get mitigation funds. Without its approval, we cannot get them. So I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried.
Excuse
Item
me,
8,
Mayor.
20
Can we let Brian go? The auditor, can we let him
Oh,
go?
yeah.
His work.
May I be excused? Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you for all your help, Brian. Me too? No.
He had an easy night tonight, didn't he?
Thank you.
Item 8, 2025-94, appointing an alternate public defender.
Resolution 2025-94, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom appointing Rob Morello Esquire as alternate public defender for the Borough of Ship Bottom.
Did you get him for $25 a year?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yeah.
Talon, sorry.
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 9, 2025-95, payroll resolution for the beach operations.
Resolution 2025-95, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom ratifying salaries for temporary beach patrol within beach operations.
Motion approved.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Item 10, 2025-96, a refund of overpayment of taxes. Self-explanatory.
Motion approved.
Second.
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 Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 11, 2025-97, veterans tax exemption.
Resolution 2025-97, resolution authorizing disabled veteran property tax exemption for a qualified veteran.
Motion to approve.
I would like to say something before I second it. The person who's getting this was our lead speaker at the Memorial Day service, and it was one of the most stunning speeches I ever heard, so I would second that motion.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 12, 2025-98, hiring a seasonal DPW employee.
Resolution 2025-98, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom authorizing temporary seasonal employment.
Anyone?
Well, Mr. Mayor, we do this every year. We just like to keep our staffing up to standards for the summer, so we don't miss a beat with all the projects we got going on.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 13, 2025-99, refunding escrow.
Resolution 2025-99, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom returning remaining escrow.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English? Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 14, 2025-100, the foreman's position in the DPW.
Resolution 2025-100, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom authorizing the approval of a foreman within the Department of Public Works.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Dalio?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 15, 2025-101, authorizing purchase of an ambulance through Sourcewell Company.
Resolution 2025-101, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom, authorizing the purchase of an ambulance through the Sourcewell Cooperative Pricing System.
Mayor, this ambulance is able to be purchased through what's called a co-op because they put it out to bid, very similar to buying it off a state contract, so that we don't have to go through all the hoops and advertising costs of looking for it ourselves. They do all the work and we reap the rewards.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman,
Yes.
Councilman Talon.
Yes.
Councilman Valio.
Yes.
Councilman English.
Yes.
Councilman Buckus.
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile.
Yes.
Carried. Item 16, 2025-102.
2025-102, resolution authorizing extended leave.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman.
Yes.
Councilman Talon.
Yes.
Councilman Valio.
Yes.
Councilman English.
Yes.
Councilman Buckus.
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile.
Yes.
Carried. Item 17, 2025-103, increasing hourly pay for the Drunk Driving Enforcement Fund Program.
Resolution 2025-103, resolution of the Borough of Ship Bottom, increasing the rate of pay for the Drunk Driving Enforcement Fund Program.
Yeah, this is to bring the hourly rate closer to what patrolman makes. Chief, did you want to say anything about that?
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is just a cost adjustment. The rate was set many years ago. This is just to bring in line with what other agencies are receiving for the same fund.
Motion to
This is
approve.
grant money, too.
It is
It's
grant
grant money.
money.
We're just matching what other agencies match grant money.
I have a first.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman.
Yes.
Councilman Talon.
Yes.
Councilman Valio.
Yes.
Councilman English.
Yes.
Councilman Buckus.
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile.
Yes.
Carried. Moving on to item 9, old business, and the first one is ordinance 2025-04, outdoor dining ordinance.
Ordinance 2025-05, an ordinance amending an ordinance entitled Code of the Borough of Ship Bottom, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, 1997, and creating a new chapter, 16.93, which pertains to outdoor dining.
Okay, before we open to the public, anybody want to say anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion to open to the public.
Motion open to public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the public portion is now open only on this ordinance 2025-04. If you have a question or a comment, you can grab one of these mics too.
Yeah, Mayor, I do have a question, just for clarification. I was reading over, Dan Platt, by the way. I was reading over the ordinance, and there's one particular section in here, 1693.05. It relates to the utilization of parking lots for outdoor dining. And the question I have, and it could be I might not be understanding it properly, because this first sentence is very, very long. So I'll jump into the center of it. It says, again, this is talking about being able to utilize parking lot for outdoor dining. So I'll skip to the part, shall not encumber more than 75% of the lot's total parking spaces for service and sale, and shall maintain at least one handicap parking space in the parking lot. Do I read that to say that if the establishment gets permission to use the outdoor dining, that they can utilize 75% of the parking lot for outdoor dining? Again, it says not to encumber more than 75%. So that remains 25%. So if we just use a scenario, if I read this correctly, if an establishment has 20 parking spots, they can use up to 75% for outdoor dining, which would be 15. Leaving 5 spaces, take one out for a handicap, at least 4 spaces remaining for everybody else. And again, I might be misreading this because it's such a very long sentence. Maybe you could just shed some light on
The
that.
government's been, the governor is real liberal on doing it, and we're doing things that make it safe. We're not against outdoor dining, okay? But we had a number of accidents in Ship Bottom where somebody hit the gas instead of the brake, and we don't want people crushed between buildings and cars.
Oh, no, I understand that, and I'm all for outdoor dining, with certain conditions. I'm just
First, they
Trying to
have have
understand
it.
how much of the parking lot are they allowed to use for the outdoor dining if they get the
It
permission?
depends on how many parking,
I'm sorry, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
Mayor. This section, it's pursuant to the state law, actually, so that is just reiterating the state law in that portion. So this is, that's actually verbatim what the state law says, I believe.
I understand that, and you can't override the state's rule. I'm just trying to understand it, and, businesses may come up and, ask the same question. So again, if an establishment has 20 parking spaces and they receive permission under all the other conditions, can they use 15 of those spots for outdoor dining?
Dan, the answer is yes. However, the saving grace is that they cannot increase their seating. So if they're going to move seating to the parking lot, they have to eliminate seating inside the establishment.
Understand, the total occupancy remains
Right,
the same.
so that's the saving grace.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. If you have an establishment, again, I'm just using this scenario, typically they can hold 20 cars, now they're down to 5. That's a big...
Hopefully we'll have a new governor and some of this nonsense
I'm hoping that too.
will be corrected.
I just wanted to make sure I understood
yeah,
that. Thank you.
You can see that in Chip Auto. You can see three quarters.
Well, what's gonna stop that shit, Tyler? That's
Well,
the one
because
standard sheets.
when you go around town and look at how many spaces there are, first you have to have 8 spaces, before it even kicks in.
Oh, okay.
And we have been working with the businesses all along, if they come into the land use board and try to get it and show that they're safe and everything, and a lot of people have gotten it, and it's part of their site plan, which will never be changed, whether you change government or not. So people can come in and get it ratified. We will be challenged on this, if not us, some other town, okay, because nobody knows exactly what's gonna take place. But you have to have a place that is large enough, like the bank or something, that would even get into the scenario that you're talking about.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close the public portion.
Motion closed. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? What's your pleasure on the ordinance 2025-04?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Delia?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes, with reservations.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Okay, item 10, correspondence. You looked all this over, any questions on any of it? Tom, you okay?
Yes, Mayor, I'm okay. Why do you ask?
Because you're a researcher, I'm just, all right, if not, I'll take one,
Motion to approve.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Hartman?
Yes.
Councilman Talon?
Yes.
Councilman Delia?
Yes.
Councilman English?
Yes.
Councilman Buckus?
Yes.
Councilwoman Basile?
Yes.
Carried. Item 11, committee reports. At this point, I'd just like to thank the LBI Hotel for the hosting of the gala. It was a really nice time, and there's a nice big banner that they put up on the road. Revenue and Finance, Councilman Hartman.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to just say thanks to the fire department. I don't know if anybody's here from the fire department, but thanks for letting us use.
Right there.
Oh, holy cow! Well, when I wear these, I can only see what's right here. And for today's meeting, that would be Councilman Farrow, I guess, to all you guys. The tax revenue since the last meeting, month to date, is $3,491,824.10. Of that, $1,378.73 is interest. I'll ask that the treasurer's report be made part of my report. Also, some other revenue stuff that you can see online. But to mention a few things other than that, The annual post-tax year statement of senior and veteran reports required by us of the Ocean County Tax Administration has been completed. Also, the delinquent property taxpayer list was sent to the Division of Taxation as required. The second quarter tax payments were due on May 1st. Delinquent notices have been mailed to the 109 accounts that have not yet met their obligation. That's it. And again, if you haven't picked up some of the charts and graphs and more interesting notes of the budget, please do that on the way out. Thank you, Mayor. That's my report.
Thank you, Dave. Public safety, Councilman Talon.
Thank you, Mayor. The public safety report for May 2025. Police report. There were 4,757 vehicle miles. There were 1,195 reported activities. There were 319 beach, business, and building checks. There were 19 medical assists and 2 lift assists. There were 550 traffic stops and 17 motor vehicle accidents without injuries. Fire report, none at this time. Surf City EMS report, there were 23 calls for EMS in Ship Bottom from 4/22 to 5/26. Year-to-date, 2025 Surf City Volunteer Fire and EMS has responded to 253 calls for services of all types. Thank you, Mayor. That's my report.
Thank you, Tom. Public Works, Councilman Vallio.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'd like to thank Mike D'Antonio for the amazing job he did in setting up the memorial ceremony, flags and everything up at the building. It was really outstanding, and coupled with the speaker and the rest of the ceremonies, it was the best I've ever seen. Really nice. Okay, as always, the full report for DPW is over at the table. Anyone wants to see the full report, they can pick it up after the meeting. We back-dragged the beach walkways, put the kayak launch in at 25th and the Bay for the season, put the paddleboard ramp in at the boat ramp, put windscreens up at tennis and pickleball courts, repaired the sprinklers at all the borough parks, repaired the signs at Barnegat Avenue and the ball field due to a car accident, inspected all stormwater outfall pipes, prepared for JIF inspection, swept and shoveled curb radiuses on the boulevard. We swept and shoveled also sand from the Bay Beach parking lot and removed the dead tree from 6th Street park. Repaired the storm drain at Bay Terrace and 15th Street. Repaired the flagpole at Borough Hall. Opened and closed all the restrooms. DPW and Police Department car repairs, put up the volleyball nets, and repair of the Surf City ambulance. Mr. Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you, Joe. Parks and Recreation, Councilman English.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Seasonal beach badges for sale, 2025 season, available at the Borough Hall, Monday through Friday during the normal business hours. May 9th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. $40 starting June 1st. Cost of a seasonal beach badge, $50. Borough Hall will be closed Sunday, June 1st. Seniors turning 65 years of age prior to Labor Day can purchase a 2025 senior beach badge for $10 at Borough Hall. Lifeguard training will be held May 31st, June 7th at St. Regis Community Pool. Remaining pre-employment urinalysis screening for returning lifeguards only is scheduled for May 31st, June 7th, 10 to 12 p.m. for lifeguard headquarters in Ship Bottom. Necessary purchases for this coming season are underway. Lifeguards in training program information has been posted on our website. All information regarding summer employment with the Beach Operations Department can be found on the borough website. Gator service, which will run this summer, starting on June 14th, 10 to 6 daily. To request a pickup or drop-off, call Lifeguard Headquarters at 494-9481 to make a reservation. Beach Patrol personnel began patrolling the beaches over Memorial Day weekend and will continue to do so until opening day. Opening day is June 14th. Lifeguards will be on duty from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'd like to thank other borough public works and so forth for really helping us out, getting us up and running, being shut down all winter. And the boat ramp, sales for the boat ramp are down. Last year we had $9,720. This year we already have $89.80. So we're down $740 for the boat ramp. Beach badges last year at this time was $42,005. Beach badge sales this year is $45,340. So we're up $3,335 for the year. And that is my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ed. Water and Sewer, Councilman Buckus.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I have to apologize. I do not have the financial report. We'll have it posted on the website tomorrow. I'm having trouble authenticating my borough email. I hope to have that fixed tomorrow as well. But as far as the actual water treatment plant, this is for the calendar month of April. We pumped 5,279 gallons, and we used 30 gallons of chlorine. People still tell me they can taste that, so they must have really fine taste buds. But it increased over March by about 8 million gallons. So I expect May on up will be very high. And we usually peak somewhere for a month around 15 million gallons in July and August. And Mr. Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you, Bob. Public Property and Community Affairs, Councilwoman Lucille.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The permit fee log summary from April 22nd to yesterday. There were 23 permits processed, 2 permit updates for a total of 25. Type of work, renovations and alterations, 25, for a total revenue of $13,087. Zoning permits, 11 pavers, 11 fence, 3 pool, 1 bulkhead, 1 addition, and 4 accessory structures, for a total of 31. For code enforcement, garbage containers missing lids, 2 verbal warnings, 24 written notices. Recycling containers where plastic bags have been utilized or missing lids, 4 verbal, 26 written. Uncovered dumpsters, 14 warnings and 1 summons. Construction equipment on the street, 7 verbal, 4 written. Temporary storage on property, 2 verbal and 3 written notices. Unfit properties, we have some of those. 2 letters have been sent to residents, and that there's a follow-up on that when we make sure that there's nothing higher than needs. That's a total of 15 verbal warnings, 73 written, and 1 summons. For certificates of reinspection, 4 passed. We also have 7 storage units out there, and all have applied for permits. We have 26 working dumpster sites. Also, I'd like to mention both recycling and garbage may be later than normal. We have a new crew working, and please be patient. You don't need to call unless it's a day late. Just understand that there's a lot more of us here now, and they're going to be a little delayed. If you rent your home, please leave copies of the recycling and garbage schedules so that the tenants know. 2 warnings issued and then a ticket. If the birds get your trash, it's an automatic ticket. Number of cans in the corral. When we have storms, number your cans so that when your garbage can floats down to the bay, now know where to return it. The 15th Street Love Blue Street Beach Cleaning Station is up and running. Check that out. There's a bucket in there. There's pickers in there. You can clean up the beach if you'd like. There are many dog waste stations out there. Please utilize them. If you have dog waste, there's bags. Also, I would like to start with thanking Kathleen Flanagan, Joe Valio, Matt Bernstein, Josh Klein, and the DPW guys who helped out with the plantings on Laurel Boulevard, the irrigation, the electric, and everything. When it starts to bloom, it'll look even better.
Looks good.
Thank you, Mayor. That's my report.
Thank you, Mary. I'll entertain a motion now to open it to the public.
Motion to open the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public portion is now open. Anybody who has a question or a comment, please come. You can get a mic or you can speak without it if you like.
I just heard Mr. Buckis talk about, is there any cybersecurity issues? Because I know I received an email that had spyware in it that came from the council here. So are we having an issue with cybersecurity or?
I don't really know the answer to that, Bill, but I can tell you my issue is not cyber related. I just think my download of the authenticating app didn't go well. I tried downloading it again, didn't. I'm going to shut my phone off tonight and then try downloading it. So that's my issue.
Okay, yeah, I just
Mayor, if you will, I can answer that, or the chief of police can.
Mayor, will you speak on it? Mayor, Council, as far as the issues, it's been addressed. We have a very good cybersecurity team. They've checked our servers. There's nothing going on. Everything going out is considered null and void, and it has been addressed, and all borough emails have been checked, and anything received, there's nothing involved in it. While I am here, there is a scam I do want to make public aware of. It's an EasyPass scam. It's another phishing scam. So if anyone receives an email saying you want anything from EasyPass or any toll violations, it's the #1 phishing scam right now. Thank you.
And then I have a two-part question. It pertains to the redevelopment plan for the school. When I was on the land use board, we just found out that there is a reforestation easement that the developer was responsible for. It was approximately 9,000 square feet. And for some reason, the council and mayor have agreed to give him 4,000 square feet on the land that we just purchased. So the land that we purchased, 4,000 square feet of that was part of the redevelopment plan that was shown to the land use board at the last Tuesday meeting. So I don't know when that was decided, and my question is why would we give up some of our open space to help the developer so that he has more room to build houses?
Well, first of all, against the houses, we plan put trees there, because that's what our plan is with our recreational stuff that we're going to put in circles and things, and we want to plant it. We want to make some trees that grow on the island.
Well, this pertains, Mayor, to his CAFRA application.
It's 10 feet from the fence.
Now I'm talking about his CAFRA application, required him to put 8,900 square feet of reforestation. If he had done that with the lots that he had, he would only have 80 foot of buildable space on the lots. He moved 4,000 feet of that, which he said was approved by the mayor and council, onto the land that you just bought for $3.5 million, the 6 lots you bought. So he moved 4,000 square foot of that onto that land, which is going to have a fence at his border and another fence that will be there. So we took 4,000 square feet of his 8,900 square foot that was required by his CAFRA permit as an easement for
Well,
reforestation.
he didn't take anything, because in between the trees, we're going to put our recreational stuff. We were planning.
You can't put stuff on the easement, Mayor. You can't put stuff on the CAFRA easement that's there. And what I'm trying to say to you is, his easement was going to go down the middle of his house between 19th and 20th Street.
Listen, he's putting trees on his ground and he's putting houses on there. Don't tell me you can't build on where the trees are there. We're getting the trees for free, okay? So that's what we were looking at. We were going to do it ourselves, landscape it, and they offered the trees and we took them. It's not taking anything away from what our plan is there.
Mayor, he put the plan out to the land use board. He's required to have an easement that you can't go on. No one's allowed, permitted to go in there. There has to be a fence on either side of the easement.
No, it doesn't.
That was just presented to the board, to the land use
No, it
board,
wasn't.
and it was
That's not
approved
correct.
by the mayor and council. So you're telling me you don't know anything about that?
I do know all about it, but I don't know about a fence there. No one agreed to that.
Okay.
We agreed to take some trees that they were gonna pay for on buffer that we were gonna tree in anyway.
Well, I mean, our newspaper person was here, she did write about that in the article that she wrote, but that's part of what was shown to us as an approved redevelopment plan for the development at the Long Beach Island Road Ship Bottom School.
Did you bring it up to the land use board at all?
I brought it up at the meeting, yes, I questioned it, and I asked why they did that.
Did you vote for it?
We didn't have anything, we didn't have a say on that. We had a say on whether it was, what color the fence was going to be. It was already approved by the mayor and council.
Yeah, I understand that.
The easement.
You still had the.
We voted on the fence. That's all we voted on, was what color fence was going to be there. We didn't vote on the easement. The easement was already approved by you and the council.
You did vote on the redevelopment plan. And also, this is proposed by Cognata, but it hasn't been approved by CAFRA yet. So, and that was brought up at the meeting. So, but you did vote on it. And at the meeting, you did not object to the redevelopment plan. And although 8 days later, you sure did.
We don't have the ability, we didn't have anything for the redevelopment.
You voted yes on it, and you
We
did not.
voted for the fence. I asked what we were voting on, Tom. So I know you want to try to argue with me here, but I'll gladly have a debate with you. But what was brought up to us, and that basically was a fence that was going to go there. I questioned why we were moving the 8,900 square feet, and he was only going to need 4,900 square feet, and 4,000 was going on the open space for the town. So if you do listen to the minutes of what happened at our meeting, I did question that.
Did you vote yes for the redevelopment plan?
We didn't vote on the redevelopment plan. We voted on whether there was going to be a fence that was going to be there.
You never voted on a redevelopment plan?
The redevelopment plan came from the council and the mayor.
No, I beg, well, my sources would dispute that.
Well, we'll see. You put another letter out, trying to make some negative comments
Thank you
about
for
it.
your comment.
All right, that's, anyone else?
Ron?
Fire company, you have anything?
Mayor?
Mr. Kraft
Somebody
does.
here wanted to talk, Ron.
Okay.
Hi, Ron Kraft, good evening, council and mayors. Ron Kraft, 328 West 15th Street here in the borough. Is the primary due next Tuesday?
10th.
10. It got moved.
We got moved to the 10th because the governor said it.
Early starts.
There's a Jewish holiday on the 3rd. Yeah, there's a
Yeah, Jewish holiday, okay, I wasn't sure. 'cause I
Yeah,
didn't-
so it'll be
I didn't
the
get the
10th.
ballot yet or
Yeah.
whatever.
And there's early voting, I forget
Starts
when
the
that
3rd.
starts.
Yeah,
When's
the
it
3rd.
start? Early voting over Mount Hope
Tuesday.
if you need to.
Okay, this is for both the council and Chief Potter here. There seems to be an uptick in the e-bikes. I know we talked about it in previous council meetings, but there's also now some mini bikes that are traveling around. And I don't think they're going 25 miles an hour, and I don't think at the same time they have any helmets or safety wear. So I just want to see if we can do our due diligence and kind of police that a little bit better so that, it's only going to get more crowded as the season goes on. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Very good, thank you. Now, fire, nothing for fire company. Okay, anyone else?
I got a question.
Yes.
John Hires on 19th Street. I got a notice about the CAFRA permit application today.
Could you speak up, please?
I got a notice about the CAFRA permit application today concerning the LBI school. And I'm still concerned about the giveaway of our public property that we're just spending $3.5 million for to the developer that he's a business person. And he probably understood some of the risks going into this about development and the permitting process. As he gave testimony, he's been here for several decades developing properties on this island. And my question to you is, why were we, it seems to be pretty quick to give away the public's rights for the conservation easement that is going to go in perpetuity on a property that we haven't even bought yet, to be honest with you. But we're already giving back to the developer who could have taken, if he really wanted to, 10 feet off of his lots to meet the accommodations if he didn't want to meet what was proposed by the state. And I'm wondering why, before the state has even issued a permit,
Well, why is because we were gonna put those trees in ourselves, the town. Okay, and they said that they would give us the trees and they would.
I understand, trees are very cheap to buy, plant. Now, we're gonna have to maintain them, I believe. There's a section that the state's gonna require that has to be maintained. They're requiring fencing on the other portion that he wants to make smaller. So, as he gave testimony, swimming pools would fit in their backyards. Now, it's hard for me to swallow that, so these people can have swimming pools, we're gonna give up property that we're paying millions and millions and
You're
millions
not
of
giving
dollars.
us property. It's
We're
property.
giving up the rights to use that property. We
Pardon?
still own it, and we're gonna have to maintain it, but we can never do anything on it.
Well, we have to maintain our own trees anyway. I mean, we want to make the park and we want to be removed from the houses, so.
So I guess my real point is, why doesn't he share the burden of that CAFR permit for his development on his own shoulders? Why does the town have to give him more property after we've pretty much been over
Went back and
backwards?
forth.
They give him a subdivision to change the zoning, to go against our master plan, and now more, after we're paying $3.5 million for 30,000 square feet, he wants more from us. I mean, when is enough here?
Yeah. Well,
And is this done already? Is this
we'll
a
definitely go
point?
back on that tomorrow.
Have we already agreed to this conservation easement?
The shame about it is that Monday morning quarterbacks that wouldn't take 2 hours to go to a school board meeting and stop this in the beginning, or a person who had it in the bag and let it get out of their hands, okay? That's the shame. Now we're stuck with, we got 21 houses, it could have been 30-some houses or more, you know? We did
It
the
could have been a
best we
size
could for
range.
Ship
I mean, you guys took control of that property. You still have to say over that property.
Yeah, we did.
The land use board, although there should be an autonomous group, voted to oversee the master plan of our town. They have no say on the biggest, single biggest parcel to be developed in over 50 years here. So my question is, have you already given him permission to have that easement on our property?
To get the trees on there? Yeah.
An easement, there's gonna be an easement. You realize the difference between putting some trees there and an easement that can never be built on, utilized, or done. And I believe there's gonna be a fence requirement from the state by the looks of their capital.
We have an agreement, and I'll be checking that tomorrow because I don't recall an easement.
Well, that's where it's coming from. It's a whole easement that he wants to reduce in size and place on 30,000 square feet. So has that been done, is my question. Nobody's answered that.
Well, the question is, I'm gonna look at it tomorrow to see what you're talking about.
Okay. But you have given them permission to proceed with the state application with the understanding that
We went back and forth. At first they were gonna do it, then they said, no, we're gonna put it all on our property. Then they came back and reduced the amount of portion they were gonna take. Okay, I mean, that they wanted before. You know, and at one point in time, you know, we discussed what the cost would be and things like that, and how many trees. Like every 20 feet, I think there's something like that it is.
Was there any talk about reimbursement of the funds that the town's expending through the open space tax?
Reimbursement for what?
We're purchasing 30,000 square feet that we're purchasing that he now wants to use.
No, there isn't. The only thing was that we were gonna get the trees.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name's Dennis Hager. I live at 1907 East Bay Terrace. And thank you all for your service, Chief, and thanks for hosting tonight. My wife and I wrote a letter to you, Mr. Mayor, back in early May. And I don't know, Christie, did the other council members?
Everyone has received the letter.
So basically our concern is, and I had a meeting with Mr. Pagnotta and his project manager several weeks ago, and he said something that Gina very accurately relayed in this most recent edition of the Sandpaper in the article pertaining to that, and that's that he would accede to the direction of the Borough Council with respect to external demolition, not the internal. I'm not talking about internal with the, I guess the biggest component there would be the asbestos mitigation or remediation. I'm talking about actually, knocking down the buildings, ripping up the fence, tearing up the parking lot, that sort of, that stuff. This is a busy year for us, especially busy, being the centennial year. And there's going to be a lot going on, and a lot of the properties adjacent to the Block 48, on 19th, 20th, and East Bay Terrace are at least partial rentals, and we already kind of have, the island has kind of a black eye with the perpetual construction project that, finally, been remedied, but, that being what it is, perception's 110% of reality sometimes, so. Our request is pretty simple, that you direct the, developer, Mr. Pagnotta, to not do any external demolition during the summertime, during the busy summer months. I think, with the, the trucks, it's gonna be noisy, it's gonna be dusty. The stuff can't be just knocked down and hauled away, it's gotta be sorted, and it goes to different areas, and the trucks that haul that stuff away, I've, seen some demolition projects. I saw a school that demolished in Pennsylvania, similar scope, and, it's a big deal. And it's gonna create a lot of burden during our busy summer season. That's make or break time for a lot of the folks, businesses and for people's leisure activity, and just to direct them, request that they not do any external demolition prior to Labor Day.
As far as I know, they didn't sign their contract yet.
No. As far as I understand, Mr. Pagnotta said when I met with him, basically settlement could be the day after the last day of school, which is sometime in the middle of June. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because that would be before the June meeting of the council, and it's, easier to take care of the vote before there's a hole in the hole.
May I ask you a question, please?
Yes, sure.
With your discussion with Mr. Pagnotta, did he give you an estimate of the time it would take to demolish the building?
I think Tom, it was several weeks.
Less than a month?
Well, to me, several was like 3 or more, but, I don't know that he, and honestly, we didn't spend a lot of time on that, but I know the project that I was referring to that I saw up in Pennsylvania, it took 3 or 4 weeks. It doesn't, you don't do something obviously of that magnitude overnight, because there's a lot of requirements with respect to what has to go where. Some of the stuff has to be recycled, some of it has to go in certain, yada, yada, yada. So,
Well,
now, I don't, and he did say that the first thing that they were going to do would be to do the asbestos remediation in the main school building. Now, the one difference is in our meeting, he said to me there's no asbestos in the school bus garage, but in Gina's article, it did mention that there was asbestos in the school bus garage. I don't know.
Mr. Mayor, if I can, Dennis, I read your letter, we all did get it, and I also read Gina's article. I think her article said it wasn't going to start till September. Is that correct, Gina?
I had a copy of Gina's article, and I gave it to one of my neighbors who's since departed, so I'm trying to.
I hope not.
It was a little, to me, there was one section that was kind of ambiguous, and that
No,
he was
but
talking with Gina.
if I can explain to you a couple
He said
things.
the 2 to 3 days he was referring to was, what was that? Was that to knock down the school bus garage, or was that for asbestos, or there was something in there about 2 to 3 days.
If I could just go on a minute.
Yeah.
The way the demo goes, he can't even apply for a demo permit till he owns the property.
Right.
Then he has to have the water and sewer, which is us, shut off and capped. Then he has to have electric turned off. And the last thing is the gas company.
I was going to say, yeah.
The gas company certifies that the other work has been done. Then he can apply for a demolition permit. You know, I can't guarantee this, but I could see no way he would want to demolish that before
Well,
September.
and honestly, the meeting that I had with him, I got the sense that, you know, he wants to be a good neighbor. So, I mean, if we're talking a difference of a couple, 3, 4 weeks, with a project of this magnitude, and he, you know, there's some wiggle room, especially in the early phases when you're doing the infrastructure work and the site preparation, all that kind of good stuff. There's some room there for schedule fluctuations, and I just think it would be advisable for the borough to just say, for what it's worth, we don't want any external demolition before Labor Day.
I don't even know, we'd have to check to see if we have a legal right to do that. In my knowledge, we never did that.
Well, he said he'd listen to you.
Pardon me?
He said he would listen to you.
He said he would
I'm
listen
sorry,
to you,
I have
so.
a cold.
Well, he might, but, you know,
Yeah.
he's not the only one that can come at us.
He'll never get.
You know, and like I said, Gina's article says that there's a whole lot of steps he has before he can even start to do, you know, and he can't even apply for those steps until he owns the building.
Right. So, and that wouldn't happen, as I understand it, obviously until they're done using it as a school. You know,
And you're right, it's about the middle of June that school closes.
So, all right, that's it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Entertain a motion to close public portion. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public portion now closed. I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
Motion closed.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm sorry. I don't want to suffer stage fright, so I try not to.